Right, you're joining me here at a real low-key venue known as Wellington Country Park, where I've had a really good spring campaign. It's included a brace of 50-pound commons, some 40-pound mirrors, as well as a classic appearance of a couple of ghosties, which were up to 49-pound, and a big old hog known as shoulders, which was over 50-pound as well. So the approach I've used, which has been successful, is creating a scattering of bait, starting off with around 3 or 4 kilos of 18 millers, using the carbon stick to get them out there, usually over 100 yards to 120 yards range, in an area roughly 2 snooker tables in size, where I fish 2 of my rods, and then the third rod is more of a roving approach, where I just have a lighter scattering of bait. The rigs I've been using has been the same rig, but set up in slightly different ways. One's been a snowman setup, and then the other one's been a pop-up. Firstly, the boom is a fluorocarbon boom, quite long, roughly around 12 inches in size. This just it's a stiff material, so it just allows the pop-up or snowman just to fade away from the lead. Also allows for a bit of movement, and if the lead fishing at range is difficult to feel down, if it's fishing in a bit of muck, it's still got a good chance of sitting right to be able to hook a fish. Next is the putty, which is counteracting the pop-up, with a supple section just below the hook, just to help with the rotation and movement for when the fish sucks the bait in. And that's followed up by an ultra sharp size 4 covert dark mugger, which helps to create a really aggressive hook hold to nail them fish. To tie the rig, we first take a 5-inch section of ultra skin, where we use a stripper tool to take off the outside coating just to be left with the braid section only. We attach that to the hook using a grinner knot or a Palomar knot, if we're fishing using the pop-up rig. If we're using the snowman rig, then use a knotless knot with a rig ring attached to it, sliding up and down the shank of the hook. Next is a length of subterfuge, roughly 20 inches in size, in the 15-pound super stiff. We attach that to the braided section using an Albright knot. Then slip on a centimetre long piece of shrink tubing, followed up by a small anti-tangle sleeve, which we then attach the whole rig onto a swivel. We can add the putty, necessary amount for either the pop-up, a bit more for the pop-up compared to the snowman, where it's just a slight amount over the Albright knot, followed up by a small piece in the middle just to weight the hook link down. Finally, we add the size 20 swivel on the shank of the mugger for the pop-up rig, followed by a hook bead just to keep it in place. This rig has caught me a lot of big fish this spring, and it's one that's probably really well worth a try.